Welcome to the Conduit Collective, where we connect you, our listeners, to perspectives, opinions, and insight on real estate, real life, and real love for our greater Moncton community through organic and candid conversation. Hello, friends. I'm Mike Espiritu.
And I'm Erica Mitten. Let's talk. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Awesome.
We're back?
We're back here again, episode 3.
Yeah.
Before we get into episode 3, I'm staring at a couple of these things here.
I
To settle a
brought
great debate.
something. I know. Because I've been getting a lot of feedback about our little blurb that we posted
The chocolate bars.
about the chocolate. What's your favorite chocolate bar?
Right.
And I've gotten some serious shade over choosing mini M&Ms.
You have?
I have. I mean, I don't know if shade is the word, but I've gotten, like, people have just been like,
What are you talking about?
yeah. That's
Yeah,
like,
it's because you didn't choose Wunderbar.
you know what? It's been forever since I've had a Wunderbar. I don't even know if I've ever had a Wunderbar.
I think
So-
it's gonna be wondrous.
So on that note, when I was at Shoppers the other day, I picked up a Wunderbar and some mini M&Ms
Okay, for this episode.
before we get started on like
Okay.
actual stuff.
So what are we doing here?
Okay, you're gonna try, but you have to
Okay.
listen. You have to shovel.
I have to shoot him back.
You gotta, yeah. I mean, like, don't choke, but like, yeah. And so I want you to give your honest. I don't want you to give the opinion that you think or that you're worried that people are gonna say. I
Sure.
want you to give your honest opinion.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on a second. I want to make sure that I open the, and I'm gonna eat the. I have a couple bites of a Wunderbar. We're not just gonna sit here and eat candy, but before
Okay.
we get started, I saw them the other day and I was like, man, Mike's got to see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. So
I even got the blue because it's
so
like
M&M
a boy
M&M
color.
Minis in a tube.
Yeah.
Not a chocolate bar.
No.
The question was, what's your favorite chocolate bar? She goes, M&M's in a tube.
Because
It's just, like, what's your favorite cheesecake? Vanilla ice cream. You know what I mean? Doesn't even make
No!
sense, right?
they're with the chocolate bars in the chocolate bar display case.
Because there's chocolate in them.
Okay, well then they're little tiny circle bars.
Jeez.
Okay, hold on. Are you gonna go first or am I gonna go first? Is there
I
like
don't
a
know.
saying? Is there
Choking
a
hazard.
saying
I
on
don't-
it? This says a peanut butter caramel experience
Experience. Have you ever wondered what the experience is like?
with the Viking
about-
hat.
about to
What's with
find
the
out.
Viking hat?
What's it, a Viking hat?
Yeah,
No, Wunderbar. Is that?
I don't think that's too good.
I think it is.
Maybe.
There's another debate. If you're thinking, make sure you leave a comment if you have also heard them say Wunderbar.
Yeah, no. Okay, are you
So
gonna
what
go
do I
first?
gotta do?
You just gotta like drink it.
Just drink M&M. Drink mini M&Ms. Okay.
Yeah.
How many here?
I don't know, like a mouthful.
Like 1 ounce shot of
Yeah,
Fireball,
sure.
or like
yeah, just like
no.
enough. Like if you sat down in your car after a long day.
Oh my god. Okay. I can't even do a full
Okay.
shot.
So we'll do the same. Okay, you're gonna go. Yeah, go.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a minute. I'm gonna try a bite of this.
I don't want to.
Chew into your microphone.
I want to do that to our listeners. You didn't even bite slow into the chocolate bar. You're just like, I'm gonna just try this, just to say I tried a Wunderbar.
That's what you got. That's what you got from my bite.
I don't know. I didn't even see you bite. I'm sitting here trying to take the grittiness out of my teeth from chewing sand M&Ms, M&M Minis. Brutal. If you know, you know. You don't know. You don't know a damn thing about amazing chocolate bars.
The caramel's all stuck in my teeth.
It's the experience.
It's definitely an experience.
It is.
I'm like drooling. Okay.
Drooling because it's amazing. She says she's drooling. Okay.
Out of 10.
M&Ms?
Yes.
Like a 1 out of 10.
You lie.
Like a 1 out of 10.
No. Wunderbar. Truth.
Truth. Give me the truth.
Like a 4.
What?
Yeah. You just gave M&Ms a 1.
Yeah, because they are. They are these little M&M minis that you shoot back after a long day of work.
If that is what I sound like
It isn't.
to you.
So no. So yeah. So I'm not on board. Not on board.
Well, neither am I. So you can have that Wonder Bar,
Yeah, you can
and
have
I'm gonna eat those M&Ms. I'm gonna eat those
yeah,
M&Ms.
you could have the
I'm gonna
rest of
show
your
those M&Ms a good time.
sandy M&Ms.
Sand.
Sand. It's like you can't get like the dirt in your mouth. Like it's a.
Like what? When was the last time you had dirt in your mouth?
Sometimes when you're like walking through a parking lot and there's like this big dust storm, and all of a sudden your mouth is open, but you're just like, I can't believe it's in my eyes. It's in my mouth. It's in my.
When was the last time you were in a dust storm?
Man, I'm just saying it happens more oftentimes. You think you go outside. Am I the only one that like you'll
Yes.
be like, okay, it's a little bit windy, but then the wind will gust a certain way and just hit you in the face with a whole bunch of like Mother Nature's.
Not all of us are just like mouth breathing through the parking lot walking into the store.
Listen, I'm breathing through my nose. My mouth is partially open. Listen, I'm not gonna go outside
Like full mouth
with
breathing.
with my lips pursed, walking from the door to the car.
You can just walk with your mouth closed.
Listen, I don't know, man.
Okay.
I have really nice teeth. I'm just trying to show the world. Just trying to show the world, and all of a sudden I get hit with dirt. I'm like, this is gritty. It's in my teeth. And then I go through a just a constant spitting. I'm spitting. I'm trying to get all the spitting on the ground.
You have a thing though with like dust and bugs
Oh, in the summertime.
around your
In the
mouth.
summertime. like,
Hate
you-
bugs near
no.
your mouth.
No. And that was the thing. I think that's the reason why I didn't really like to play outdoors so much as a kid. Just because I was afraid of like flying bugs getting stuck in my mouth.
Oh, I've seen
Yeah.
it. I've seen it where you just get like really like you don't like it.
No, it's like so when people was just like, "Oh, you should totally help me garden," I was like, "Oh, this is a horrible idea." But yeah, just running through, just running through stuff. You ever imagine me like running to catch a football or like running to catch a football? It's like, Mike, go, and I just be running, blah blah blah. Except my mouth is like closed, so now I'm breathing through my,
Like,
so right. So I'm just not like. I'm just literally breathing through my nose because I don't want to catch like an aphid. Like so in Alberta, there was a lot of aphids and all these little. Man, no way, that's my nightmare.
M&Ms are better than Wonder Bar.
Episode 3. I'm just we're done with this conversation. Episode 3.
Yeah. What are we going to talk about in episode 3?
So we want to talk about our journey for constant improvement
Yeah.
in our real estate career.
Yeah.
And because this industry is so very much a top of mind, who comes to your mind first? Who is your realtor of choice? Why should you use them? There's a lot of ways for us to do that, and a big component of that is education.
Mm-hmm.
Is the just the constant broadening of our skill set, our knowledge, just our experience within this industry, our ability to relate to clients, past, present, and future, on a level that stands out, so they do have that first thought and intent to refer and the intent to repeat without batting an eyelash. Right? So we can't win them all. We know that.
For sure.
We can't help everybody, nor do we want to help everybody. We have a lot of capacity, you and I, for helping people out. But as soon as our level of service starts to dip, we have to rethink where we're at in terms of how we can improve it, how we can top up that service, because consistency is the biggest thing out of our businesses. You and I, our individual businesses, consistency. Nothing dips below, nothing breaks.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Right. And so by continuing your education, I think there's a couple of things. You find the key pieces that are kind of repetitious. Like even if it's a different speaker, even if it's a different form of education, the same topics that come up start to really, really resonate with you when it's like conversations, leads, talk to people. If 7 out of 7 forms of education is talking about that, there's obviously some proof in the pudding and in the research
Right.
that those are the things that you really need to get back down to the basics on. But the whole education this year, like trajectory, started in February
Right.
of 2023.
Because you and I both went through our real estate careers operating at the, and functioning and doing a great job to what we thought was a great job.
Yeah.
And having the ability to go, excuse me, having the, it's M&Ms. The M&Ms are killing me here.
Right. Do you want a glass of water?
I want
Would you like a bite of a Wunderbar?
I'd love a glass of no M&Ms ever again. That'd be great.
Good, more for me.
Yeah. Hit the sale bin. Nothing but M&Ms in the sale bin. No Wonder Bars because they can fetch top dollar.
Right. Well, it sounds like you're SOL, and I'm going to have a great afternoon.
Well, great afternoon, diabetes. So here we go. Yeah. So it started in February. You're crying.
That was funny.
Yeah. No shot to diabetes is no joke.
No, man.
It's not. It's not.
I know. Okay.
So starting in February was kind of the definitive turning point in the way we looked at our real estate careers.
Right. And I don't think we went into this. So Keller Williams has an annual conference called Family Reunion. And
I don't mean to interrupt you.
uh,
So what our listeners will hear of within this podcast quite often is the brokerage and family that we work for, Keller Williams, because we are a part of the Keller Williams international brokerage.
Right.
So when people hear this, these things that we are taking and rolling ourselves into are not all Keller Williams based.
no.
And don't forget what you're going to be saying. Sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is our accessibility, the ability to be presented with opportunities to better ourselves and sharpen our blade and get better at our craft to make us better realtors and business owners is readily made available because we have a brokerage that truly cares in us building our businesses instead of just doing the role of being a realtor.
Without question. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right. And so I think the catalyst of the trajectory of the education, like fire that was lit, was at this, annual conference that Keller Williams holds called Family Reunion. And when I went, I can't speak for you because we knew each other, but in Anaheim, which is where it was this year, it was a realization of just how much opportunity is out there. Because if you not copy paste, but if you follow the recipe of what other successful realtors are doing, and if you find what you're good at, and then you could go to a seminar, and we would kind of divide and conquer. We had a little crew after going to Disneyland. We were in Disneyland the day before, and we just kind of said, like, okay, let's divide and conquer. We each would go to a seminar, and we would come back and reconvene over what we learned. Ed Milet was the keynote speaker. And it just really started to kind of like rev an engine that when we came back, we were like, okay, like we've been given this like toolkit of information. Now we need to learn how to use the tools.
Right. A lot of it is also you can hear somebody give you advice over and over and over again, or you can hear the same advice from many different outlets. But something about Family Reunion, of being there with the keynote speakers and our fearless leader, Gary Keller,
right,
and Jay Papazan and Jason Abrams.
Right, yeah.
Shout out to my guy.
Yeah, I know.
One day, you know what? I'm going to email you after this one.
Right,
Jason, I'm going to say that,
because we just saw him in
serious, I was thinking
Halifax.
about this the other day.
Yeah.
We saw him the other day, and
So
doesn't
good.
matter how busy he is. I shot him an email to say thank you for that event, and we'll talk about this. Is another one of the ones farther down.
Yeah.
That we did in September here. But I shot him an email off, and doesn't matter how busy he is and where he's going one time, he replied back to that email so fast, and that was very impressive. But going back to what I was saying is that you can hear advice on how you should treat your business and the things and habits that you can do that will put you into production. You can hear that from many different people. But the great thing about family reunion that really, to your point, revved that engine and really brought the excitement to me was to hear it from them.
Mm.
And that just charged me right up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And seeing 15,000, 16,000 agents running back and forth with this unbreakable energy
Right.
and excitement to hit 2023 with the most ferocity. And, you know, with this year, the theme was to charge the storm.
Right.
Because it was a shifting market. It was just an incredible opportunity, incredible moment.
Yeah. When I came back, I felt that potential. Like I felt that I was given an opportunity to grow because somebody gave me permission to say that you can achieve this and you can succeed. You have all the potential in the world. What are you going to do with it? So when we came back, we kind of were on that high with a few other people from our office and made a promise to say, okay, well, if we're not, if we don't have, leads or somebody, that we're working with right now, like let's just show up and cheer each other on and just say, what have you done today to make yourself better?
Right.
And
Right.
that was kind of in, end of February, took
Yes.
off. And it really I don't think there was a lot of time in between getting back from family reunion before they had announced that another Keller Williams training program called Bold would be starting, end of March?
Yeah, March, April or something like
It
that,
was like
right?
end of March that it
beginning of April.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we needed a certain number of people to sign up or they weren't going to so they bring a Bold coach in from, usually it's from the States.
Right.
And for 8 weeks.
Right.
Every Thursday for 8 weeks and off-site, but we were very fortunate to have it here in Moncton.
Right.
I think we were just riding that high of family reunion because Sammy, our office manager, she came over and said if we don't get like a certain number of people, they won't do Bold this year.
Right.
And I remember thinking, we need to do more learning.
Right.
We need to learn how to be better again, or
Right.
even more. And so you and I hosted a small little seminar here to encourage people to sign up for Bold.
Right. In a different way from the gathering that they hosted earlier.
Right.
To talk about
because
Bold and what that is.
We didn't want them to cancel our opportunity to learn more because they didn't have enough people.
Right. Selfishly, we didn't want them to cancel the opportunity for us to learn.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're such a very pay it forward company and look out for one another company, especially within this brokerage of Keller Williams Capital Realty, that if they didn't bring Bold to Moncton, what a shame for all the other agents, new or old, who weren't able to learn some new habits, to get them better in production and just improve their business.
Right. And they talk about like in Bold, putting you out of your comfort zone.
Right.
And they have like the Bold laws. And some of the Bold
Right.
laws, is no pressure, no diamonds.
Yep. No pressure, no diamonds.
Your cells eavesdrop on your thoughts.
What you focus on expands.
So it's a very much a mindset combined with accountability.
Right.
And pressure.
Right.
So we were tasked to talk to 100 people a week for 7 weeks.
Right. I'm going to drop a big spoiler alert here. It's not a spoiler. But these are one of those things that every training that we go through family reunion, through Bold, the reality is of this real estate industry, it's all based on conversations and relationship building. And I don't know if there's a certain level of pride sometimes with some people, or maybe they feel a little bit hesitant, or they feel like they're above having conversations. Well, I'm just going to put it out there anyway, is that you're not building any relationships if you're not talking to anybody.
No, it's true.
Right? And the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book that Gary Keller, Jay Papazan, and the late Dave Jenks ended up doing for the entire industry, not even just Keller Williams, but for the entire industry. I know colleagues who read this book, and they're with Remax, or they're with CIR Realty, Century 21, like back home, and it's just they read these because the the models and the systems are the same, right? So they're telling have contacts, make more contacts.
Mm-hmm.
Bold puts you in a comfort zone where they're telling you that you got to contact people. We're
Mm.
going to monitor how many people you contact.
I know. I was so intimidated.
Which is what you're supposed to be doing.
I know. I went into
Right?
it so cocky though. I was like, Psh, I know so many people. And by week 3, I was like, I've called everybody I know.
Right.
But I hadn't. But I had that limiting belief that it was going to be too hard. And it was hard. There were some weeks, I'm not
It
going
is
to
hard.
lie.
It's challenging because even though we know that it's something that we should be doing,
Right.
forming a habit to be intentional, to contact people every single day at the same time, getting them on the phone, messaging them. This is the crazy thing about Bold is that it's evolved from okay, everybody split up in the middle of the room from what I hear, right? Because this was the first time I ever attended Bold in person.
Right.
When I was there, they tried doing Bold through COVID and it just didn't really hit the
virtual.
same. It didn't hit the same.
No.
Being in person in teams hit different because if you didn't hit your team goals or you were the anchor, you felt horrible.
You did. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's true.
And it's not that they're over there with like a stick and they're slapping your hands or they're saying, okay, you got to go over there and time out if you don't do it.
But because we care and because relationships are important to us, we didn't like that feeling of letting our team down.
Right.
And
right.
so it was.
Yeah, Bold was incredible. It puts you in a position where, they go through the book, they go through the models, the systems of what's going to help you be successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's all based back on the root of talking to people, building those contacts, developing the habits to contact people on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Not just when you want something.
No, it's true. And don't be a reactive realtor. I'm really
Right.
bad at that. Like, I'm like, oh man, so-and-so called because I helped them buy a house, I don't know, a year and a half ago. And so that reactive work ethic, it will fizzle, or I'm just missing out on a lot of potential by not putting the effort in to trying to connect with people who haven't yet connected back with me.
And if you think about this, and you hear me talk all the time, even either on the microphone or just kind of sitting across. Listen, we know life is short. We know life is short. Like there's not like a giant window of opportunity for us to be like, oh, I'm just gonna wait until next week.
Right.
My idea is this: what if? I hate the what ifs because I'm in control of a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit next week. Well, somebody calls me or a listing goes up on my street. And I'm their neighbor, but I know that realtor certainly does limit. And then there could be a lot of different reasons as to why.
Sure.
They may be related to them. They may have helped them before in the past. They may have gotten referred from a family member, friend, or a colleague.
Right.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I made myself a better neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
What if they knew me from down the street because I made it a point to go over there and see how they're doing or go for walks and stop and chat for a little while?
Yeah.
What if? When I'm contacting and staying on top of contacts, it eliminates the whole reactive.
Right. It's true.
Right? Because I'm beating that to the punch. I'm beating them to it. I'm reaching out first.
Mm-hmm.
And reaching out with a purpose. Right? I was listening to another podcast the other week, and the guy said on there, he goes, it's your mistake is picking up the phone and saying, hey, I'm just calling to check in. And I understand, to me, I was just like, okay, I've said that many times before, and it develops into a conversation because that's just how I do it.
Right.
But he was saying that if you're not calling with a purpose,
right,
just calling to check in, all of a sudden it defeats the importance of that intentional phone call that you're trying to make.
Right. Specificity.
Right.
Be specific.
Right.
I'm calling to ask you how the kids are. I'm
Right.
calling to ask you, how is the home?
Right.
I'm calling to ask you, have you gone on vacation? Just pick something.
But it's a different call. It's a different call if all you're doing is to check in.
Right.
But if you're trying to get intentional with asking for business or asking them for help
Right.
to help get you more business,
Right.
there has to be specificity in that call.
So would you say, I've taken this year to really enhance my education, and I am in the process of learning and continuing to learn how to be a better realtor. I'd love to know how you're doing, and I'm wondering if you or somebody you know is looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate.
Right.
What's the worst
Just
thing they can say?
shoot right for it.
Right. Because I'm not interested in the business of wasting anybody's time
Mhm.
either. Like, and I don't want them to think that my call isn't genuine, but I also want them to know that, just say, okay, I'm learning how to reach out to people who I have helped, reach out to people who I want to like, know, and trust me.
Right.
And I first and foremost, I want you to tell me how you've been. And
Mhm.
second, I'd love to have a conversation with you to let you know that I'm continuing to do really good things. And if they say no, I don't have anybody, or no, I wouldn't recommend you, then I would say, with a bruised ego, what can I do better? How could I have made your experience
Right.
better? Because this is a long game.
Right.
I need to know how to get better, and you're not going to get along with everybody.
Right.
But if you have a relationship with somebody and they're honest enough to let you know how you could have improved their experience,
Right.
take that and process that. It might not be rooted in anything, but there might be some truth to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that in every market, we're talking the States, we're talking Canada, all over the world, 2021, 2022, that pandemic allowed a lot of new agents to jump into the business and hit success quickly
Mm-hmm.
without really having many models and systems to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And this past week in our boardroom for our coffee Q&A sessions and open discussion, we have a book club afterwards where we read a section and we started talking about models and systems. The great thing about the training that we've taken, and we've only scratched the surface of what we learned, everything that we hear from Family Reunion and Bold and all these other ones that we're going to be talking about, these are building models and systems.
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't there for that, Erica. You had to step out for a call. But I brought this up, is that when you hit success quickly, it's like building a tower straight to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting more and more and more and more and more. However, if you don't have models and systems, the base is weak,
Mm-hmm.
and it could allow for everything to come crashing down.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter how tall a building is, if it's right to the sky, it doesn't really have a base for structure and longevity.
Right.
But I highly doubt the pyramids will blow over
Because there's the strong
because
base,
they
the strong
focused on the
foundation.
base.
Yeah.
They built far, they built wide, and they built up from there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way that I take a look at the training that we do, the training that we will do, and even conversations like this, just we're shooting it back and forth, just go to tell me that we are reminding ourselves and revisiting the training that we've done and the importance of building a very strong foundation and a strong base in whatever business that it is, regardless if it's real estate. If you're a business owner, you need some level of standard operating procedure.
Right.
You need some sort of a model and system, more than just, we're going to open our doors tomorrow and make a lot of money because I'm going to sell this paperclip, 1.8 million times over. There's a lot more to being successful, and that's why we're in training. But Bold, that
Bold was intense.
it was intense,
But I
it's a
don't
wake-up
regret
call.
it. Yeah. Shout out to Kristen Romadetti.
Shout out to Chris and Roman Denny. What up, Chris?